Well, the Toronto real estate market, what are some of the changes that have happened? I've actually just seen a post on the infamous Six Bus. You know Six
I
Bus?
know 6 Bus,
Yeah.
yeah.
I seen a post about how I think it was the month of either October or November, just before the year end there in 2025. There was a total of 53 condos sold. So my first question is, what the hell is going on with the condo market?
The condo market's interesting because the market does move as a whole, but individual types of properties move slightly differently. That's why they talk about the condo market being a lot slower than detached. So for condos, people are getting tired of like these what's it called? Like a shoebox condo, 500 square feet.
Mhm.
The bed's right here. Your kitchen's right there. You can't see anything. A lot of people who were working downtown, they were living in condos, commuting downtown. And then when COVID hit and people were working remotely, a lot of people sold their condo and there wasn't as much interest. It wasn't because people weren't working downtown anymore. Now COVID's over. People are getting back to work. It's still oversupply. Like during COVID, pre-construction was going crazy. Everyone was buying a pre-construction a year later, assigning it for 100,000. Everyone's buying pre-construction. And there's only a certain point how much you can do that because pre-construction, as you know, priced higher than the resale market for the most part. So from my perspective, condos, bro, they're not falling dramatically, but there's definitely slumped and there's no immediate growth.
So go back to that for a second. When you say that the market itself on a pre-con is higher in terms of purchasing price than a resale. So what you're essentially telling me is that if I were to buy a condo right now, pre-construction to be built out in 3 years from now, I will be paying for that more money than I would if I were to buy a similar condo in a similar area for
Even a 1-year-old condo, the exact same thing. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Because
Really?
when a real estate agent...
What's jacking up that price? Is it just the developer trying to just get as much
yeah.
deposits as possible so that they have that money to break ground into, or what is it?
I'll tell you. So as far as I know, to sell pre-construction, you don't need a real estate license. I could be wrong. But when realtors, which are the majority of people who sell pre-construction, when they sell pre-construction, they don't say, this is priced higher. They just say, this is the price point. This is the deposit structure. You get a free car. You do this. It's great. But they don't explicitly tell you the price per square foot of this pre-construction that's complete in 3 years is X% higher than the exact same brand new condo that's ready to buy right now. And that's not in everywhere. Like in Dominican Republic, pre-construction is like the same price or less. But here in Canada, probably the States too, I don't know, they do price. I've seen like a difference of like 30, 40%.
Really?
Right now, like at the peak.
So like a $500,000 pre-con condo, you're saying if you were to buy it at a 1 year brand new condo that just opened up and you were to buy the exact same, in this hypothetical situation, the exact same condo, you're saying that this $500,000 pre-con is priced
probably
up
400?
up to 40% higher than what that one that is reselling
What I've seen, yes.
40% like, on 500,000, that's like an extra 200K, man.
Bro, I have a girl, I know a girl who does facials. She bought like a bachelor unit for 650, 700,000 in pre-con. Now it's worth like 400,000. They're completely fucked.
But then my question, if that's the case, then how are these guys moving paper, or as they call it, flipping paper? Because obviously
going up.
It is going up, right?
It
was. So what do you mean was?
Not anymore. Okay. That's why these developers, a lot of them are going into receivership, like a form of bankruptcy. They're pulling out of their project. They're giving people their deposits back. And sometimes they don't give the deposits back. When you give a deposit to a builder, you are trusting and hoping that they're going to complete their project. If they don't, there's no guarantee you get your money back. Just like any business, it can fail.
Is there no stipulations in the contract you sign when you're agreeing to give those deposits?
But what if that builder goes bankrupt? And they lose their money.
Then there's nothing you can do.
Exactly. So there's always
personal
a risk.
liability, right? Which these builders are obviously not going to put stipulations on that on their contract.
And so they attract you with, only put 1,000 down now and 1,000 down per month. It's super good. And the people who can't afford a big down payment now or have a good credit or income,
they like the flexibility of being able to leverage.
But there's so much
money.
risk. So many of all the pre-construction deals I do, 80% of them are problems. They call me, Aubrey, I bought it for 700, but it's appraising for 600. What am I going to do? I literally have a conversation with them. I think it's better for you to walk away, Mr. Client.
And take your
I'll do your mortgage. I'll get paid for it, no problem. But realistically, you're going to lose more money by buying it. They say, no, but I've already put 100K. I've already been waiting for 2 years. I can't walk away. They're going to sue me. It's like crazy stories that I've seen.
Well, no, they don't have to walk away, but they can try to sell it, right? Like when you say walk away, you mean like sell it and walk away, not like fully just walk away from
Well,
what do you mean when you say
when
walk
I
away?
mean walk away, I mean like don't close and walk away from your deposit and leave your deposit there. Because sometimes when you sell it, the price you're going to get minus all the realtor fees, the mortgage
Yeah, man.
cost, the penalties, you're going to net less than if you just walked away.
But why would there be penalties if I pick up a pre-con, I put
I'll tell you.
$100,000 deposit on it,
Yeah.
and now it's ready, turnkey, they got the key, I got the mortgage approval.
Mhm.
Now the appraisal is giving me $100,000 less value than what I picked it up
Mhm.
for, right? And I go to sell it at what it's worth, right? I take $100,000 loss on what the condo value was, but the actual price that I picked up that condo at would be significantly less
I'll tell you.
because it's worth 700
Mhm.
today, but I probably picked it up for 5.
Right.
And over the course of the 3 years, it went up to 7.
Because you're then relying on the condo market, which is shit to begin with. How long is it going to take you? I have a client. He's been trying to sell his condo. He has a private mortgage. He's paying 12% interest every month, bleeding into it. He's been trying to sell for like 6-7 months.
Brutal.
He keeps having to get an extension. So with that strategy, yes, but you might have to price it super, super aggressively just to get it off.
Mhm.
And then to close on the actual property, as opposed to walking away, you have to pay for a lawyer. If you go private mortgage, you have to pay lender fees, broker fees.
Okay,
it
so
can
now
be
my
more
question
costly.
is, if you picked up the condo at 500,000, you put $100,000 down, the bank will lend you $400,000, right?
If it's worth 500.
If it's worth 500, right?
Mhm.
Now, what if it's worth more? Would the bank not be able to give you more money for that mortgage, therefore cover some of those losses?
Great question. Generally, no. Generally, they lend on the purchase price or the value, whichever is lower. So if it's worth 600, but you paid 500, they're not going to lend on 600. Alternatively, there are B lenders like Equitable Bank. They will lend 80% of the appraised value as long as it's within reason.
Up to 80% of
Up
the
to 80% of the appraised value.
Very key.
A lot of lenders
Most of the time, it ends up only being about 60-65%, correct? It's very extreme cases where they actually lend out like the loan to value.
no,
is
if it's
80%.
a regular purchase and it's good credit, good income, you'll get 95%. And if you're
Really?
insured, like if you're owner occupied,
Yeah.
you can get 95% up to 500,000, like we talked about last video with the down payment structure.
Mhm.
But Equitable Bank is a B lender; they only go 80%. But I was going to tell you one thing on condos in particular.
Mhm.
A lot of lenders, not A lenders, but B and C, they're scaling back their loan to value. I have a private lender; they do home equity lines of credit. They go 75% on any detached home. On condos, 65%. Because they know it's not as liquid. It's going to take longer to sell.
Yeah, 100%.
So they scale
Especially
back.
the way the market is, right? Do you anticipate the condo market getting any better anytime soon?
I think it's leveling off. Yeah. I think the builders are being less aggressive with what they build because they see how difficult the market is. So I think it will eventually correct, yeah.
Do you think a lot of what's happening in the condo market can be attributed to greed? How some of these builders try to maximize how much little room they're putting this one condo in to try to make more and more of those units? You understand what I'm saying? So
Well-
to try to squish, because these condos, like you said before, people are tired of these box condos that are like 400 square
It's a
feet.
North American problem. It's in other parts of the world. It's not like that.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So when you're looking at a condo for 400 square feet, 500 square feet, and you're really not feeling like you're getting the value of what you paid for in terms of space, do you feel like a lot of the drought that's happening in the condo market can be attributed to these builders getting greedy with the amount of space they're allocating to people? So that way they could continue to build more units. So for example, as opposed to having your average condo at 1,000 square feet where you would only be able to build, say, 200 units in a condo, doing it at 500 square feet, you're able to build 400 units in a condo. Therefore, because you're able to do that, you now have more people purchasing, more money making, and a continuous, consistent a trend in that will then start to create this drought that we see now in the condo market. Would you say it's fair to say that?
I think it's related for sure, but I don't think it's not like the builders are coming in and saying, okay, let's reduce significantly. Because at the end of the day, they're here to make money, but at the same time, they want to keep their reputation. They don't want to sell a shitbox condo because then no one's going to buy it ever again. But they're in line with the market. It's not like they're saying, okay, these builders are going 550 square feet. Let's go for, I don't know particularly, but
how many big builders is there? Is this a market that's monopolized? Because if so,
there's tons of big builders. My cousin started, I don't know if you know Great Gulf. I will put that in
sounds
there.
familiar, actually.
It's like one of the biggest builders in North America. But yeah, it's not a monopoly at all.